How to enjoy a good road trip around the UK. Hi YouTube, how is your new school year going? Mine is going pretty well, but there's a lot of new rules in my school so that we don't mix in between years much. There has been a lot of extracurricular activities that have been put on hold, which is really sad because I do enjoy most of them, and I really want to start them again, but they won't be starting anytime soon. So today I'm going to share how I enjoyed my first road trip around England and how I got really lucky in some of the places that I found. So let's start. What is a road trip? A road trip is a long distance journey on the road, taken normally by car, and they're normally travelled around decently long distance journey. I went with one of my family members, and the best number to go on a road trip in the UK would always be 2, and this is because the majority of accommodations are only for 2 people, and 3 is a slightly harder number to find a room for. And if you're travelling around without knowing when you're going to arrive at a certain place and you can't pre-book, it's always better to have a smaller number. It's because it is very difficult to find a last-minute place to stay if you have around 3 people. And British rooms aren't as big as American-style rooms or anything like that. So the 2 of us loosely followed the St. Michael alignment, and we ended up with some fantastic fossil hunting at the Jurassic Coast. The St. Michael's alignment, which I want to talk about now, is quite an intriguing and prominent line that crisscrosses to Britain, and it runs in a straight line between the Land's End and England's southwestern parts, and there are a lot of interesting things that you can see, and it is from the direction of the sunset on the 8th of May, when the Latin liturgy celebrates the apparition of St. Michael. So then after that, it is always better to follow some sort of direction where there is a location that you're interested to go to. And since we're in the middle of a pandemic and a lot of indoor venues are closed or very hard to get into because you have to book, we went to the Aveburyhenge, and it is the largest henge, prehistoric circular monument in Britain. And it was pretty cool. There were a lot of big stones, and obviously that might sound boring, but even the scenery around is very natural. You'll be able to see a lot of sheep, and you have to be careful of the poo on the ground. But it is just a nice little hike with cute shops and nice flowers and fresh air, and you will be able to contemplate. You can wonder how much that they had to work to make this humongous prehistoric circular monument, as I said before again, and it is quite interesting to ponder on the fact of why they did it, how they did it, and if they had wanted to keep the henge for so long. What was their purpose? Then we went to Glastonbury, which had a lot of spiritual shops, which was quite interesting in my opinion. I could tell that there were a lot of people who were interested in it due to the absolutely crazy amount of shops around that were based on spiritual different things like tarot readings and crystals and things like that. There was also springs where they were inside gardens where you can try like healing water. There was the white spring and then the red spring in the Chalice Well. I'd say it's actually very, very peaceful in the Chalice Well because even though you're outside, you can feel this sense of almost meditation. Maybe the Glastonbury spiritualness is rubbing off, but it is very calm. You can hear the trickling of the water, the sound of birds, and slight breeze, and it is really nice. And it still protects you from rain because we actually got caught out in the rain pretty badly, but since the trees were quite thick, it was a nice sound to listen to the rain and the water and the birds, and it was all very nice. And then we also went to St. Michael's Mount, which was a really interesting island since the pathway only opened in the mornings, so you could only go there for a certain amount of time before you were trapped by the sea, which is slightly dangerous, but there are boats going in and out just in case you get stuck. I thought it was quite magical since the water just parts ways for this stone path, and it almost reminded me of following the yellow brick road as they do in The Wizard of Oz. And I did enjoy the view in the St. Michael's Mount because there was a wonderful garden and it had some amazing flowers and you could see the sea, and the sea was quite blue as well, which was lovely. On the top there is a monastery and you can go to it, but you will have to pay separately if you want to enter the island and also if you want to enter the castle, because the castle and the island are separate. You do have to book if you do want to go to the island, by the way. You can't just waltz in and go inside the island, which I thought it was in the first, but apparently it isn't. And there is, as I said, a monastery at the top where there is a church, as well as museums, an art gallery, which a small art gallery where you can see a few paintings. And there was something I found quite interesting, which was like a samurai set. I thought it was very random for it to be here, but it turns out that it had come from Japan, and I found that quite interesting to find a samurai set over here. But I thought it was quite a fanciful little additional detail that they had put in the guidebook. And the reason we got a guidebook because even though if we didn't go to the monastery ourselves, we found it quite interesting to see from the outside anyway. And yeah. We managed to ride horses in Dartmoor as well, and it was quite a nice ride. I learned how to trot, even though I had no experience of horse riding whatsoever. And we could see quite the clear sky, and we could almost see the sea as well, which was quite nice. And the horses were all very gentle, and you could learn to get along with the horse because the horses had their own personalities and things, and that was quite nice. Next, I will do my first fossil hunt video, so if you are interested in seeing that and how you can fossil hunt, make sure to look. Make sure to watch out for that by clicking the notification bell and subscribing, because then you'll be notified when it comes out. I think Southwest England has some great outdoor places to visit, and their Celtic culture heritage is very unique and distinctive. I thank you for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful summer and you're happy to be back at school. Please like and subscribe, as I did say before, and if you have any comments, please leave them down below, and I will see you next time. Bye!